heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
You grew up on cereal for breakfast and you graduated into drinking coffee at some point as an adult. Now there's a place in Lincoln where you can stay caffeinated but eat like you used to. Control Coffee and Cereal Bar brings Saturday morning vibes to every day with locally roasted specialty coffees, Lotus energy drinks, and tons of breakfast cereals with toppings. And did we mention they have video games to play while you're there too? Control Coffee and Cereal Bar open 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday and 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. on the weekends at 15th and Pine Lake.
Midwest Bank is now hiring in Lincoln. They have multiple banking positions open and are looking for dynamic individuals passionate about helping others and building relationships. With a family-friendly culture, competitive benefits, and unique perks, Midwest Bank is a great place to start a new career. Apply today at midwest.bank. Midwest Bank is an equal opportunity employer, member FDIC.
Why are some people more successful? Is it talent and determination, or did they recognize an opportunity? Discover a career that lets you help families reach their financial goals as you build lasting professional relationships, one with unlimited income potential. From Modern Woodman, a leading fraternal financial services provider.
I'm Modern Woodman Regional Director Sean Erickson. Call me at 402-483-6515 to learn about career opportunities.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is the Don't Punt Hour with former Nebraska receiver.
Throwing over the middle, completes the pass. He's got speed to the end zone. Touchdown. 45 yards.
And return specialist.
This time he beats the kicker and one more.
DeMornay Pierson-El.
Not only does the sideline have confidence in Pierson-El, but Pierson-El has confidence in Pierson-El.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome in. Punt out on the 1-2s, Royals on the brick and mortar, Facebook, YouTube, XL, channel 961. You guys can all put a face to the voice that way. And the Starter Heyman text line is still open, 402-464-5685. And I think we'll open up with a little bit of trivia on this one. And if DeMornay Pierson-El gets this question right, then we'll have to switch up because we got some tickets I want to give away here. But DeMornay Pierson-El, here's the trivia question. And if you don't know this, we'll use this as trivia for some Dynasty Combat Sports. Get the spring ball. A lot of local Nebraska former wrestlers in there as well. Doors open 6:30 this Saturday. Fights start at 7:30. Again, that's Saturday, May 3rd at Pinnacle Bank Arena. The question is, DeMornay Pierson-El, what is the number that Michael Jordan wore only once in his entire career?
Only once?
Yeah, and if you don't know it, fantastic. Then I'll use this as the trivia.
A double-digit number. In college or in pros?
NBA. Pros.
Is it 12?
Oh, DeMornay Pierson-El. It was number 12. That is the jersey they had to wear. They were trying to, even to the point where the PA announcer was trying to figure out where the hell is Michael Jordan's jersey at, thinking somebody might have taken it. So he wore 12, no name on the back. He wore that temporarily. So with that being said, next two texters, tell me the last time the Chicago Bulls won a championship. NBA
Was
champion.
I supposed to blurt that out loud?
No, that was it. I want to see if you knew it. I'm surprised you got it. These are, I want to get these away like candy. So, because it took me a little bit. I had to Google it. I was thinking about it. I threw
You're
in.
not a real Jordan fan. You're not a real Jordan fan.
All right, that wraps up the Don't Punk Hour. Yeah, it was 12.
Michael Jordan is my favorite. Is my favorite. Well, top 3 of my favorite athletes. So it's
Well, good guess right there. But next two texters again, they're on the brick more. You can put it on Facebook, YouTube, X. If you put it on YouTube, be aware someone might steal your answer. But if you do, I'll give it to you anyways. The first two people, that is, when was the last time the Chicago Bulls won a championship, NBA Finals championship? With that being said, I do want to talk some NBA. It should be. This one should be a layup for everybody. If anybody likes the NBA,
try and give me the curveball. I see how it is.
Well, you're the Michael Jordan expert, as I've been told.
I didn't say that.
A good knowledge on the greatest of all time. That is Michael Jordan. We'll give you that. But I wanted to start with NBA in particular. We talked about it yesterday. Milwaukee Bucks. I even talked to DP a little bit about this before he left on the last show. Is the clock ticking drastically faster now for the Milwaukee Bucks? And I'm asking, is that championship window over?
Yes.
You know when their next pick is? The next first-round pick that they have.
30?
Yeah, it's 31.
Ooh.
So they're going to have to go 7 years with no first-round picks. Everybody's got rights basically in swaps to where, yes, they can have a first-round pick, but there's a bunch of teams like the New Orleans Pelicans, for example, they're going to be able to say, we actually like that pick. We're going to swap with you. So they're cooked in the water for a long time. They've given up rights to everything for at least 7 years. And the only way they get some assets back is trade Giannis.
I thought Giannis is a free agent after this year.
He had a 3-year deal, correct? Unrestricted through 20. I think it is one more year, 27, or a couple more years. I want to say. Let me double check here. But he's a 3-year extension. I know last.
I mean, that's the only way that you're going to be able to get something back. And I mean, even if you do get picks back or whatnot, I mean, people still can salvage them. So, I mean, is that really the best thing to do?
I think so, considering you have no future.
You have no future regardless. Let's say they get 3 first-round draft picks for Giannis. Let's just say, hypothetically.
Mm-hmm.
What if they're there in the next 3 years and all these pick swaps come in? It was like, nah, so these next 3 years actually are the back end of the 7 years. So, I mean,
you trade the 3 as opposed to letting him walk for free. And right now, it's that 28, 29 year. He's an unrestricted free agent at the age of 34.
He's not going to want to be there anyway. I mean, because Doc going to get up out of there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so, I mean, I won't say he'll be declining, but his game will not necessarily be probably where it's at right now. He's still, you know, dominant and everything like that, but it'll start to decline with certain stuff. I mean, that's just it's just a terrible situation. Like I mean, from letting the guy that brought you a ship in the building, from letting him go, trading Middleton, trading Holiday, you know, he's the last, you know, or one of few pieces left in there, and it is just clearly he's not happy. I mean, the Dame situation is sad. So I mean, I think it's time for everybody to have a fresh new start.
Yeah, Dante DiVincenzo, another one of those guys that got up and out of there. He was a great player for him. So the Bucks, it's a tough one. I think that window's.
He won a championship with them.
DiVincenzo?
Yeah.
I want to say he was on that roster when they did. They beat. That was the year they mauled the Suns, correct?
I think so.
Yeah, DiVincenzo, those Villanova boys. I think he was one that ended up on the Milwaukee Bucks. And he was there for that ring.
Good for him.
Yeah, he's a fantastic player. I don't think anybody's got a problem with that. But yeah, the Bucks are such a sad tale of you got a really good player in Giannis, and you almost go too far in to try to make it work. And then I love Damian Lillard, but even at the time, at that point in his career, you weren't sure if that's going to be enough, considering when you're getting rid of all these role players. And to see the Achilles go out like that, Damian Lillard, to me, where does he rank of great players who it's not over, but likely won't have a ring?
I mean, there's some players that definitely rank higher than him. Chris Paul, Melo, of course. I really wanted Melo to get a ring. I would say top 10. He might be around top 10. Allen Iverson is up there. Okay, he might be like top 15. Hold on now. Like now that I get to thinking really about players who don't have a ring, I would say. I mean, it's not the saddest thing. It's not the saddest story. I think Allen Iverson, like I said, was different and was an icon to where people really wanted him to see and get a ring. Melo, same thing. Melo's one of those people that his names get tossed out of there. Chris Paul's is up there. So I mean, it's sad, but I don't think it's any more sad than any of those three names.
Yeah, and when you really go through the list, either he might even be a top 20. I mean, Damian Lillard right now, he's on the list of like some of the best players never won a ring, but like you got to throw on John
Charles
Stockton,
Barkley,
Elgin Baylor, if you want to go even further back.
I mean, you got
Dominique Wilkins didn't either, which is probably Steve Nash never won a ring. Chris Paul seems like if you're a really elite playmaker point guard, you fall into that camp. I mean, John Stockton, Steve Nash, Chris Paul. Crazy to think that all three
Reggie Miller.
Yeah, Reggie Miller never got one either. Mutombo never got one, so there's plenty of games. Pistol Pete Maravich never got a ring either. There's a lot of elite guards. Yeah, Hardly another one. It's a brutal.
Derrick Rose.
Really, when you go through this list, the thing you realize is there's so many great players that just get forgotten because they don't have a ring.
But who they were going up against, some dominant teams.
Yeah.
They were the Bulls, the Lakers, the Celtics, the Spurs, the Mavericks, LeBron, and the Heat. Like, I mean, it's Dwight got one. I was thinking what Dwight
Howard got with the Magic back in the day.
That's what I was thinking of. But I don't think Stojakovic got one. He was nice.
Turkoglu, Magic, right? He won with the Lakers. Did he ever win it with the Magic? Dwight Howard?
He won one with the Lakers. Yeah, that's why I said I was thinking.
Yeah,
I was about to say him, but I was like, no, he won one with the Lakers.
And then the Lakers let him go for whatever reason. He was a tremendous help for them in that title run. Him and JaVale McGee, and they let them both go. Another questionable.
JaVale McGee has a lot more rings than a lot of people. That's crazy.
He's the traveling ring merchant. He's an expert at it. He's really, I mean, but I always say this about centers in the NBA. JaVale McGee is like the idealistic center for any GM out there. Like a little bit like Jaren Allen back in the day, freaky athletic, long, versatile center who, he's not going to stretch the floor for you, but you're getting him on a good price and you're getting elite defense. And he can go up and down the court too.
Would you rather have Gobert or McGee
in their prime?
Sure.
Because right now I'd go Gobert, obviously.
I don't know, because JaVale, when he was with the Warriors,
I like JaVale McGee a lot. Rudy Gobert, he's so many. He's
inconsistent with scoring. Like, I feel like JaVale can get you 12 to 15 easy, and that's just lobs and putbacks.
If I have JaVale with that Warriors scheme, then I'm never wanting to switch him out for Gobert.
You're making. You said Gobert. I don't want to hear no scheme. I'm going JaVale.
No, I said if I have the Warriors scheme, I'm going McGee.
I mean, Gobert. But even when he was in Denver, he was a rim runner in Denver. He was still getting points.
I'm trying not to just throw Rudy Gobert is entering such interesting territory of being, and it's my own doing at times of being. He's going to go out.
He's underrated.
He's
in a league where what he kind of does. He's the only one that that really kind of does it. Like back when JaVale was playing, like it was a lot more people like that. So it's like, what Rudy is doing is nice and dandy, but it's like nobody else is necessarily doing it, and it's like your number's supposed to be triple than what they are.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I'm not really impressed, honestly. Like you're underperforming on at least on one side of the ball.
If offense is my problem, I don't want Gobert. Does that help?
You're trying to have your cake and eat it too, so no, it doesn't help.
All right, give me Gobert.
I'm taking JaVale.
All right, I almost want to side with you, but like history would say, I'm just crazy. You look at all the defense player of awards, but like there is a thing when you watch Rudy Gobert, again, especially on the offensive side of the ball, it is just frustrating, especially when he's going to work, when he's got a huge size advantage.
Who are the other bigs though? Like
in today's league,
all the bigs today are outside of the arc trying to shoot and not really dominant. There's only I would say maybe 1 to 2 dominant bigs. One of them got a hurt knee, and Jokic he's just a little bit different. JaVale McGee was back when Dwight Howard was still in his prime.
He reminds me of Jared Allen a little bit.
Zebo was still in his prime. Like you gotta remember some of these players that when getting in the paint was still a part of the game.
The Roy Hibberts, Zach Randolph was a beast for the Grizzlies back in the day. Zach, when I think of the era where the center position really changed, it was the passing of the torch from Randolph. We have never seen really a Zach Randolph since then. He was just a ball of muscle on the block that you couldn't move him.
No.
Zach Randolph, he's one of my favorite players to watch. Undersized, but he could put you in the blender. He had that footwork that Jokic does, just not the range or the touch that Jokic does. He was more of a bully. I'm just going to get there, and you're not going to be able to stop me.
Carlos Boozer was another good center. Like, I mean,
Gortat. Remember Gortat on the Wizards? That was the John Wall era.
Yeah,
can't remember his first name, but he was another really good center.
Birdman was still high flying, and again, like I said, like I'm going JaVale. I don't care what you're talking. I'm going JaVale. You tripping?
All right, you can take JaVale. Part of me wishes I was on your side because Rudy Gobert is just one of those players that. Incredible.
He's inconsistent and he plays soft. JaVale ain't soft.
No, he's not. He's not. And that is the reason why I really like JaVale McGee. That guy gives it his all. Doesn't matter which team takes him up. If that team gave him a 10-day contract or a 2-day
he's gonna
contract,
play. He's gonna be out there.
Yeah, he is the dog. He deserves all those rings because again, I think he is just gravy for any GM out there looking to shore up that center position. You got a guy who's freaky athletic, who can cover you on defense as well. And I do like that Jared Allen comparison I think of when I think of a prime belt, just a freaky, athletic, long, great rim protector, but on offense, not so stiff as a guy like Rudy Gobert, where if you want to do some actions with him where you got him rolling down, you feel a lot better lobbing it up to him than you would a Rudy Gobert. That being said, man, not where I thought we were going to go with this segment, the Rudy Gobert versus JaVale McGee segment, but let's talk a little bit NBA since we're already on it. Right now, we do have the Bucks and Pacers. And the Bucks are up. They're up by 2, and there's only
they going home.
Okay, so it doesn't matter for you. You think the Bucks are going home?
Yeah.
I just say even if they win this game,
it doesn't matter. You're going home.
Yeah, and then we don't have to talk about the Bucks' future anymore. They have big changes coming down the line. I don't know how they go about it, but we talked about the picks. It's a nightmare of a situation for them. And other games going on right now. You got the Pistons and Knicks. Pistons 22, Knicks 23. End of the first quarter. This is kind of the Cade Cunningham coming alive party in this playoff series. It's 3-1. Knicks leading it. I'll give maybe the Pistons one more game, but I got the Knicks as well. And then the last game of the day, the one we'll talk about before we throw out the break here, or excuse me, 2 more games, Magic and Celtics. Right now, Celtics lead at 3-1.
Yeah, it wrap it up. I mean, I think the Magic are a good team. They're just a young team. They're still missing a few pieces or whatnot. It might have been a difference if they didn't get the Celtics out the gate. But I mean, it is what it is. I think Celtics will end it tonight.
Okay, and the best series by far in the entire playoffs. Clippers, Nuggets, cap it off tonight. This one, 9 o'clock tip off. I'm assuming it's in LA. If it's that late, I couldn't tell you who's going to win this game at all.
Clippers.
The series.
I got Clippers.
Okay. I mean, it is just one of those things like you have. I know you might not like Ben Simmons, but Kawhi Leonard, James Harden, those two. You got like guys like Norman Powell on the bench, who's just a fantastic player who has been his entire career, and they
have an athletic bunch that seems to people. It's like a sneaky athletic. It's like, oh, okay, like, and they're physical. They play in a grown man's game, and I'm not so sure Denver can keep up.
It's fallen a lot on Jokic's shoulders, and you give a ton of credit for Aaron Gordon down the stretch.
Yeah,
Aaron Gordon made a huge play.
That was a missed shot. Like that, they were supposed to lose that. Like they got bailed out.
It was a bailout. Jokic said indeed that he was not going for the shot there. Aaron Gordon just came in with a miraculous save and threw it down. Got it off by a single frame. If you look at the one side, people are saying they just wanted that series to extend. If there is another angle that the refs were looking at, he got it off, but it was literally by a frame. That one's second to the Kawhi Leonard Game 7 roll around the rim 100 times.
Yeah.
When he was with the Raptors versus 76ers. I mean, that was an electric finish. That's why I don't feel great about ever calling this game in this series. And we kind of said this walking into it. I think we were both uncertain calling our shot for either of these teams. I went with the Nuggets, not 100%. I think you went with the Clippers.
Yeah.
Confident I did, and I'm just not going to be surprised if either of these guys, because Jokic is to me still the best player in the world right now, and I think it's a by a decent margin, but the Clippers are just stacked top to bottom. And this is a team that is probably tired of being a laughing stock for the longest time. And the Clippers right now are good, and the Lakers, you got Luka Doncic, LeBron James. We talked about it. That's really it for him. And they might go back-to-back years, get knocked out in the first round. When you see this with Luka Doncic and LeBron James, what's the window for the Lakers now? Because I don't, if you take another first-round exit, LeBron James, I don't know how many more years he wants to play.
I think you have to solidify a few pieces. I think with giving JJ some more time to go out and get, he's gonna know what the team needs. You know what I'm saying? In a mid-season crisis, they get, arguably the face of the league right now, and get you to a number 3 team in the conference, in the strongest conference. So having that and people understanding and okay, like, no, we can make this work. I think LA will be a destination for teams to go to. Of course, they're gonna need some extended help. People are gonna have to show up. Their role players just haven't been consistent, and I think that's what's gotten them in this position. If with the few right pieces, you got a solid 2, maybe 3 years to really compete. To really, you can at least make it to the Western Conference Finals, potentially championship, and kind of after that, and I'm nervous about saying 3 just because of LeBron's age. Like, he's missing stuff. He's not as high flying, high strung energy, and everything like that. His body's really taking a toll. So I would say at least 2 years for sure, with the right pieces.
Yeah, and this is you can feel any way about this. LeBron James is starting to get a little bit of it's always been there, but it's infiltrated LA a little bit. There were some fans booing LeBron in the last game, which I thought was really surprising. Wasn't expecting that to turn on LeBron James, but I don't know if that way is for him at all. I mean, he's still got a huge fan base that loves him.
Yeah.
But there's, just to put it out, there's like a little bit of LA fans that have soured on LeBron James. Right or wrong, that's just what it is. Like, you can hear it sometimes at the games, some fans directly behind him. But yeah, you're right. When you look at that depth of that team, Luka, LeBron, if anybody in that text line can name the entire rest of the roster, I'll give you all the tickets if you're not using Google, because it's pretty vapid after that. Jackson Hayes at the center, freaky athletic, gets into foul trouble a lot, still just not a complete player. We talked about it, Rui Hachimura. Who's the third best player on that team? Is it Rui or is it Austin Reeves?
I would say Reeves.
I would say Reeves.
But I think Rui I would say is majority more consistent. And I know he's coming back from being hurt and everything like that. But I think Reeves and Rui are still 2 key pieces. You want to keep those around or whatnot, because Rui can get you 20, 18 to 25 easily, a few steals. He's good on defense. Their games is polar opposites a little bit. I would say Reeves is a little bit more flashy, high flying type. And Rui is just, that Gonzaga type style, very fundamentally sound, boring kind of basketball, but he does the right thing. I still go with Reeves. And he's gotten more comfortable. He's kind of blossomed a little bit and kind of came out lately. He's kind of been down a little bit, but I mean, you got Luka that has been thrown onto stuff, so the dynamic has to change a little bit, and I don't think he's quite figured it out exactly, kind of like where to kind of get in and where not to kind of get in. So I think that's one of the things, but I would go with Reeves.
I would too. Rui can definitely be the better player of the two, but I think you're right. It's when Rui is not hitting from 3-point land, his game suffers as a result. He gets a lot of rhythm from out there, and when you see those games where he's popping off 20 plus points, he's usually hitting a couple big threes at some point, and his confidence gets up there, and then teams have to start chasing them out, and then pretty soon he does get a step, and he can use, call it that Gonzaga, that good fundamentals to get downhill.
Yeah.
He can be a really good player, but I think for him the biggest part is, like, he's got to hit a few shots, because every time I see a big Rui game, it's always in the second half. Like, I rarely feel like I see him going off in the first. It usually takes a little bit of rhythm. Austin Reeves is just pretty consistent. You know what you're going to get. He's not going to go nuclear very rarely, but he's going to just do enough to keep the ball moving around. And yeah, I don't know what the future looks like. They're an interesting team as well, because it's not just that you have 2 arguably the best players in the NBA and LeBron and Luka, but again, when you're in the West, You just could put that roster next to the Clippers roster, and it's like, wow, this thing drops off a cliff. If they stop you, LeBron James, and Luka Doncic, which when you look at the Clippers and who they have on defense, seems like a high probability. And then you look at the depth of the Lakers, which again is like Gabe Vincent, Jordan Goodwin, Jared Vanderbilt, Dorian Finney-Smith, Alex Lynn, Dalton Connect. You can line that up with the Clippers and you're like, we're not winning any of these matchups on the bench. And we see it in the NBA playoffs a lot. That bench production, the thing that the Celtics did so well last year, that's what
produced.
That's what lets you ride all the way.
Your starters got probably, an additional 2 to 3 more minutes of rest just to kind of, all right, well, y'all can sit for another minute. And that helps. I mean, the Lakers looked out of shape. The Lakers looked tired. They looked worn. Luka's sick, X, Y, and Z, and just everybody else is just like, well, those two got to save us.
Pretty much. I mean, they're putting up a prayer, hoping that LeBron James can put a word into the refs, maybe get some quick free throws, or LeBron.
And they not having it, and neither is this 3-point shooting.
How much are you in love with the series, though, between just Anthony? I love Anthony Edwards.
I
watching him play the game.
I like the energy from Ant, and I feel like that's what the NBA is missing.
Yes.
And to kind of get back to that. Not everybody necessarily has that and can do that, but Jimmy has that effect too. Jimmy didn't went off on some people in the past and previous times, in New York and Philly and those things. So it's refreshing because it's like that's what you want to see. That's what people are interested in and go off of. But not everybody necessarily is like that. Even like with Draymond, like people be waiting for Draymond to, to watch and do something. Now it ain't, the best. I mean, I know he tries not to really hurt people, but I mean, he really be choking people out. But, it still draws a crowd because it's like, all right, we know he's going to do something, whether it's stepping on somebody, elbowing somebody, tackling somebody, you know what I mean? Or just talking crazy. So I think that's the element, that is missing a little bit. And Ant has no problem with expressing how he feels no matter who it is.
Yeah, and that's why I think his fan base just getting bigger and bigger. Even I'm not a Timberwolves fan, but you can't deny watching Anthony Edwards. He did the same thing to Kevin Durant too. And he played on the Olympic team with it. He's got respect for him. But like when the game starts, you miss that of some of that.
You're not on my team.
You're not my friend. I'm going to shove you. And if the refs call, a whistle, whatever. But I mean, he's just shoving on what the greats are of the game and LeBron James. And when it was, with the Suns last year, when you're just doing that stuff, it excites a little bit of what the old NBA used to be. Of like, I don't think Anthony Edwards is hitting any of those guys up after the game and saying, hey, you want to take some cute jersey swap pictures? No, not maybe once the series is over, but definitely not in the middle of it. And Anthony Edwards, he's getting a fan base solely, I think, because of that. He's got a little bit of that old school NBA within him. We'll throw it to break here. We'll circle back on the NFL draft as we didn't have a ton of time to talk about it yesterday. There's a little bit of Husker football as well. So don't go anywhere. Don't punt hour. Good morning, Pierson-El, Harrison Arns. Talk to you in a bit.
Take control of your health with the DASH scan at Advanced Medical Imaging. The DASH scan is a full-body MRI designed for advanced health screening. This dynamic approach provides exceptionally sharp images across multiple organ systems, helping to detect potential concerns early. With minimal radiation and no invasive procedures, the DASH scan offers a safe, comprehensive look at your health. Plus, results are delivered faster than ever, giving both patients and physicians confidence in screening and diagnosis. Your health is too important to wait. Schedule your DASH scan today at Advanced Medical Imaging. Visit amimaging.com or call 402-484-6677 to learn more.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
You grew up on cereal for breakfast and you graduated into drinking coffee at some point as an adult. Now there's a place in Lincoln where you can stay caffeinated but eat like you used to. Control Coffee and Cereal Bar brings Saturday morning vibes to every day with locally roasted specialty coffees, Lotus energy drinks, and tons of breakfast cereals with toppings. And did we mention they have video games to play while you're there too? Control Coffee and Cereal Bar open 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday and 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. on the weekends at 15th and Pine Lake.
Midwest Bank is now hiring in Lincoln. They have multiple banking positions open and are looking for dynamic individuals passionate about helping others and building relationships. With a family-friendly culture, competitive benefits, and unique perks, Midwest Bank is a great place to start a new career. Apply today at midwest.bank. Midwest Bank is an equal opportunity employer, member FDIC.
Why are some people more successful? Is it talent and determination, or did they recognize an opportunity? Discover a career that lets you help families reach their financial goals as you build lasting professional relationships. One with unlimited income potential. From Modern Woodman, a leading fraternal financial services provider.
I'm Modern Woodman Regional Director Sean Erickson. Call me at 402-483-6515 to learn about career opportunities.
Modern Woodman of America. Touching lives, securing futures.
A lot of businesses say they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business wants anything but your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, just as they do their customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and a diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
Step into healing at Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery. Our team of top-notch medical professionals turns pain into progress with state-of-the-art treatments and compassionate care. Visit prairieortho.com and discover the difference in quality orthopedic and plastic surgery services tailored to your unique needs. Your health matters, and Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery is dedicated to helping you thrive. Reach your full potential. Embrace a better tomorrow with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, DeMornay Pierson-El.
All right, welcome back in. Don't Punt Hour, segment number 2. Good morning, Pierson-El. Harrison Arns back at the studio as always. And for those waiting for the trivia, 98. Last time Chicago Bulls won an NBA Finals championship. We just had the one texter, unknown texter. Just let me know how many tickets you want. We will set them aside for you. And again, that is Saturday, May 3rd for that 16 bouts that you can go watch for that spring brawl that is happening at Pinnacle Bank Arena this Saturday. Doors open 6:30. That being said, good morning, Pierson. Let's talk NFL draft. And we're going to go broad picture. I'm going to stay away from the grades. I agree with Scott Van Pelt that the grades really don't mean a whole lot of anything because nobody knows. I don't think
you could draft a Brashad Perryman and nothing happens.
That's just it. You can draft a Patrick Mahomes too and have the grade be, a C, and then I don't know how many years later was it when he officially got the start, and then you're going to go back. Oh, that was actually nobody knows. This stuff always plays out in a crazy fashion. So I'll ask you this though: now that NIL is becoming such a big part, and we see it a lot with the NBA. The NBA had I think only
103.
Yeah, 103. So we're getting to this point where players are now coming back to college over the NBA for that extra money.
Why wouldn't you?
Exactly. Do you see this as a good or bad thing for the NFL? Because I think this trend's going to be the same there.
I mean, I think it's good. You'll still have your people that'll go early. You'll still have your people that I got kind of I got the backing now. I don't think you'll necessarily see it as much. As much as the juniors kind of like leaving early and everything like that. I think you'll see a lot more of them stay for 4 years, unless, like I said, you're guaranteed top 3 rounds. I mean, and that's different.
That's sometimes where the beauty of NIL can be there. I know a lot of people, there's all the negatives around it, but I don't know this, but do you think we get Ty Robinson if NIL isn't there back for that final year?
I think so.
Okay, I think so as well. But having money,
that's like an outlier. Like you could have said like Nayor or something like that. Like
Isaiah Nayor,
probably
or Tammy Hill, even a guy like that who, well, that's another bad one. Either way, we are getting to a point where it makes sense for these older players to come back to their university. And in my mind, I mean that's one good thing about NIL is we get so tired of, especially if you're like in Alabama, maybe you're not tired of it because you are winning all the time. But you don't get a whole lot of time with these players before they're up and gone, especially if they're good. Now there is an area where if they're that good, Dylan Rayle just signed a big sponsorship deal with Adidas. He's an official Adidas athlete now. That makes it a lot easier to stick around the University of Nebraska. If you're Dylan Rayle, like if this year he pops off and he looks like a prospect, it might make more sense for him still to come back, especially if he's not like
if you're a top 10 pick, regardless or guaranteed, you at least the third quarterback at your position, depending on what the draft year is looking like and everything like that. Go, those type of things don't come around. Now, if you get to that junior year and you don't like kind of like where you at, then yeah, I can see him coming back. But if you pop it like how his trajectory is going to be and everything like that, he'll be gone.
If he's top 10, yes. I'm saying more like if you're outside the top 10 and you just don't know how far you're going to slide, NIL money starts to sound really good.
I mean, if you're like a Quinn Ewers type situation,
yeah, college.
Dylan Gabriel situation, college. Like like I said, if you top 3 at your position, more than likely, that could be first round, given or take, as I said, depending on what's needed from teams that year, 3 quarterbacks can get taken off the board fast. We've seen drafts where 5-6 quarterbacks have won the first round. So
what was two drafts ago? It was insane. All the quarterbacks. It was like top 10 picks. I think like 5 or maybe more than that. It was like all quarterbacks.
So I think it's going to be a combination of things to get certain criteria or certain players to stay. Now, if your criteria and everything like that, you, like I said, top 2, top 3, best at your position, and it's a heavy year for your position. You team captain, you leading tackler, leading something. You got these different tangibles and everything like that, and they got like a first or second round grade on you. You probably need to go.
Yeah, especially with injury possibilities. We see how that just ruins careers. And if you're that high up there, the team's going to invest a lot to try to make sure you do work out.
For sure.
You're one of those later picks. They're going to be a lot more willing to move on from you because, you can talk to me about the turnover in the NFL. It's got one of the highest turnover rates up there with the NBA, but NFL even more so because those rosters are so big and it's really easy to go out there and flip guys towards the bottom of the roster if you think you can just get a little bit of better deal on it, or even if this player's good, we have a very specific role needed, so we're going to move on from you anyway. NFL is a brutal one for turnover. So yeah, if you're up there, Like, by no means, don't realize that good. I don't expect it to be a top 10 next year, but if he was, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he went up there and left. That being said, Andy Staples had Husker football. I know some people love it, some people hate talking about it at all. Way too early, post spring ball, Nebraska 22 preseason rankings. Iowa gets the honorary 25 slot in their preseason rankings. That's the only one I've seen so far to have him in that top 25. How do you feel about that? Too soon? Are you even thinking about top 25?
I mean, 22 is fine. I mean, 23, 24 wouldn't have been bad. 22, it says a lot of expectations, and people are expecting, us to be out the gate very, very dominant. So that is good. Again, we got a lot of pieces that are coming back. I know we lost a lot on one side of the ball, but we also gained, a lot. They brought in some talented players through the portal and whatnot, and some veteran players. Just not young players, veteran players, experienced players. So I can see it. Like I'm not upset about it. I'm not saying it's just right. I'm like, I can see how you get at that.
Yeah, and this is where the bias is. Like, if you talk to people who have just been watching Nebraska from the outside, not following the trajectory of Matt Rule, I can definitely see it's like, oh, here we go again. Because I wouldn't be surprised to know if there are some media members that do like to throw Nebraska in the mix just because they know their article is going to do a lot better if Nebraska is named, because we just have that rabid of a fan base to where people like to hear that stuff. But at the same time, there is some legitimate belief there. Not only just the Matt Rule trajectory of year 3, the Dylan Raiola thing's real, and it's Adidas clearly has confidence in him if they're going to sign him to be an Adidas athlete. But also, you mentioned some of the guys that we're bringing in here, the veterans. We got just the Kentucky veterans galore, as well as just the coach himself in shorts, and then Key. And then you look at the defense, Winari, one of those veterans who we've had great talent from the portal to positions like that before, O'Shawn Mathis being the obvious one. Not saying it's his fault it didn't work out. That defense just wasn't very cohesive as a whole that year.
Yeah.
But Winari, if he's just everything he is on paper, you have, a version of, with a grain of salt, Barrett, Randy Gregory, like a ceiling like that, where athletically he has some of those traits.
That's a high ceiling. Randy is probably one of the best athletes or freakish athletes I've seen with my own 2 eyes.
I said take it with a grain of salt. I'm not saying he's going to be great.
Listen, use somebody else other than Randy. I don't think people will realize.
Well, give me another good edge rusher out of Nebraska lately, though. That is kind of within that. Randy Gregory is just in a league of his own as athleticism, but that is Winari's game. He is athletically different than guys who
I don't know if he's moving like Randy though. Like I've seen Randy run stride for stride beside Amir running down the sideline. Like, this is not exaggeration. Like, I've seen it. Like, Amir shook him out of his cleats. Randy turned and caught him. Like, I've seen it with my own 2 eyes. Like, so Randy is a freak of nature. Like, completely different. Pass rusher recently.
He can even go further back if you need to. I can't. We haven't really had a guy like this in a while at that position. We've had Crick, we've had Sue. Obviously, like guys like Ty Robinson who just came through here, but
I mean, but he's taller. He's a little bit more solid. He's not as like, even I think he's bigger than Randy. Randy was linky.
He's bigger. Yeah, he has less speed, more muscle, but he's still I'd say more of a speed rusher.
So it's hard to say because I haven't watched too much of him to really put my a hand on it, but you can't just throw Randy out there like that. Like, I'm not going for that one. Like,
All right.
Randy was something different. I'm trying to think of DNs. I feel like if the floor is Freedom Akinmoladun, we will be fine. If he can be a more athletic Freedom, which Freedom was a tree stump, you really couldn't move him. He set the edge, And I'm not saying, Freedom was a bit stiff, but he still got the job done. He still was effective, played in the league, 4 or 5 years. So I think that's the floor. He's a better athlete than that. Now, how high up the list you go, we would have to see.
Yeah, okay. I'm okay with that answer. That's a good answer. I'll take that.
Body size, height wise, Freedom was like 6'6". He was tall. He had tree stumps, tree logs, for legs. So Freedom was very, very effective. So at least that would be the floor.
Okay, we'll go with that, and we'll leave Randy Gregory alone. Yeah, because he is just a.
Yeah.
When I really start getting into Nebraska football, Gregory was a big part of that.
I would say he's probably one of 5 probably freakish athletes to come out of Nebraska. I mean, for sure, but within the past 10 years, I would say he's top 3 probably.
If that story with Amir Abdullah is true, where he got his ankles broken and then still turned around and caught up to Amir Abdullah.
Amir hit the meanest jump cut I've ever seen in the hole. Like, he jumped in and jumped out and left Randy. And with instant, Amir jumped back outside and was going down the sideline. Randy literally was running beast. He literally peeled off and caught him. And I was like, oh, okay, that was freakish. Like, I've never 2 elite athletes in that type of situation. I've never seen it play out like that. It was 2 heavyweights swinging at each other. Like like I said, that was one of the most fun practices that day. It was a lot. It was a lot going on.
Oh, I mean, hey, they both went to the NFL. It's like they were definitely up there. But yeah, that's. You got me in the mood. Now I'm just gonna want to go back home after tonight's show and turn on Randy Gregory highlights.
Yeah, don't throw Randy around like that. Like Randy's probably one of the most freakish athletes I've seen with my own eyes.
I remember him being that good. I'm getting reminded how freakish. I knew he was a freak athlete, right? Like, that was pretty clear. But man, to be at that caliber, where
maybe Avery Moss. I remember Avery Moss. Avery Moss had a high ceiling for DN. So I mean, along the lines of that.
I like Avery Moss. I can see that one. That one I can kind of click with for a good floor, and we'll see what Winari does with it. How good is he? Again, that's he was a former 5-star, at the very minimum 4-star out of Missouri, heading over to Nebraska. One of the more veteran guys on the squad, and we've gone through the schedule before with Nebraska football. The expectation's really high. I think we said the floor is 7, ceiling 9.
Yep.
Has that changed at all for you? The closer and closer we get to it, we're seeing some guys we had about 4 guys I know for sure hit the portal. Nothing major. Some of the more fringe guys who I'm sure or maybe advised or told about their playing time if they want to look into it. Not a lot's changed in our room. We've held on and retained a lot of the key talent that we've been talking about all summer, all off season. I'm still there. I think with 7, 9. We're also getting to a point, though, where if Dylan Raiola is everything they're saying right now, a lot of it's going to fall on his shoulders.
It's going to fall on his shoulders regardless anyway. Like, he's a quarterback. He has a following, with him and everything like that. Regardless of whatever, like, it's going to be with him.
What was our conference record last year? That's a big one for me. Because every year, obviously, when you get to November, you get to even sometimes starts late October for Nebraska football.
I mean, I want to say we might have finished even, I think, or maybe one win more.
Okay, so Big Ten play. They're not giving it to me. They're just giving me 7 and 6. I'll find it here. But the question is do you go 5 plus 500 in the Big Ten? That's going to set up a lot of it. Where do you think Nebraska finishes in the Big Ten? Top third, middle third, bottom third?
Upper, not middle third, but like on the fringe of upper. I would say top 5 teams in the Big Ten.
Okay, I'm with you there. Who do you think pops out ahead next year, Illinois or Nebraska? Because Illinois, Brett Bielema.
I need to see the schedule. I need to see the schedule. Like I can't just say I know what our schedule is and everything like that. But they could have a gauntlet of schedule, and it's like nope. You get a bad scheduling. You get 3 headaches in 5 games.
They've been blessed. And let's go through it. And this is why I bring up Illinois. So we'll go through it. You look at the record, you feel really good about them. And again, they were 10-3 last year. Like Brett Bielema, like don't look away from Illinois and what they're doing up there in Champaign. That place
is rolling.
I've always been big on Bielema, and there's a reason why. He's got that place starting to, especially last year. I think Illinois was in a spot where people weren't sure because it got a little shaky.
Everybody stayed and came back. He had a good foundation.
Mm-hmm. So here's their schedule here. You just give me wins and losses. Western Illinois.
Win.
Duke.
Ooh.
At Duke.
A win.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that's a culture war, and at that point in the year, even if they came up to Illinois, I don't think that's much of a disadvantage for Duke. I'm going with Illinois as well. Western Michigan.
Win.
At Indiana. Kurt Cignetti was a tough
loss.
One. Okay, me too. USC, but they get them at home.
I don't really know what USC looks like, but Big Ten football, they're coming here. It's still early. I'll give Illinois a win.
I think they get that one too. So right now that puts them
4 wins.
At 4 wins. You have the 1 loss to Illinois, on the road Purdue.
Win.
Yeah. Tough one at home, Ohio State.
Loss.
2 losses. Washington on the road. I got win.
I'm gonna go loss because after Ohio State, is it a bye week or anything between that?
October 11th, they get a bye week. They do.
Win. I change it back. Never mind. Dang.
At home versus Rutgers.
I think Rutgers will shock people this year.
Okay, I think so too. Just not.
They got a loss.
Okay, so your losses right now are Indiana, Ohio State, and Rutgers. At home, Maryland.
Win.
On the road, Wisconsin, November 22nd. I'm going to win because we looked at Wisconsin. Wisconsin's going to be feeling brutal at this point. They're going through a gauntlet of teams. Yep. At home, Northwestern. That's the last game.
Win. So that's what, 8 wins? 8 and 3?
8-3. That puts them right back. Their opportunity to go to a bowl game, get to 9 wins. But I mean, you're looking at Indiana, Ohio State, and then if you want to, you can throw in a Rutgers. You can throw in.
That's not a terrible schedule. You don't got Penn State. You don't got Michigan State.
They don't have Oregon. They don't have Penn State.
You don't got Iowa. Like nope. You don't got Minnesota. Like who are you playing? Like
that's what I'm saying. It is as far as I can tell.
That's an easy schedule. Like I can see them getting 10 wins again next year.
I can too, unless they have some sort of falling out. But like to your point, everyone's pretty much back for Illinois. Like that culture is set in stone now, and the guys that set that culture are still there. So Brett Bielema in Illinois, Champaign. I know it's not the biggest Big Ten market out there, but that is a program that it's certainly want to watch out for. That's going to wrap it up for us, though. We will have to talk a lot more football as we get going here. And tomorrow, of course, we'll dive back into the NBA and give updates there. But good morning, Pierson-El. Appreciate the time. As always, got a couple of Husker Bowlers, Caleb Verstrady, Anna Callan, coming up next. Don't go anywhere.